G'day from the Netherlands. We're here to unravel a right royal mystery, shrouded in more intrigue than a kangaroo in a tuxedo. We're diving into the world of tiaras, castles, and euros to answer a burning question. How wealthy is the Dutch royal family? King Willem-Alexander, the current head honcho, took the throne in 2013. His wife, Queen Maxima, is known for her megawatt smile and fashion sense. They've got 3 daughters, the princesses Katharina Amalia, Alexia, and Ariane. The House of Orange-Nassau has been around since the 16th century. They've got castles, art collections, and enough land to make a real estate agent drool. So, buckle up as we delve into the finances of one of Europe's oldest and most stylish royal families. Get ready for a royal roller coaster of intrigue, opulence, and surprises. First things first, let's talk about the moolah. The Dutch royals get an annual allowance from the government. Think of it as a taxpayer-funded expense account for all things regal. This covers their official duties, staff salaries, and palace upkeep. The Dutch are pretty down to earth, even when it comes to their royals. Their allowance is public information, debated and approved by Parliament. Transparency, gotta love it. In 2023, the King received 6.4 million euros. The Queen and Princess Amalia got their share too. But remember, being royal isn't all champagne and caviar. They've got expenses like the rest of us, just on a grander scale. Maintaining those historic palaces isn't cheap. Now here's where things get really interesting. Remember those castles we mentioned earlier? Well, they're not just for show. The Dutch royal family owns a whole bunch of properties, and we're not talking about a couple of holiday homes in Spain. We're talking palaces, estates, forests, and even some prime real estate in the heart of Amsterdam. This is all part of the Crown Estate, a collection of assets that's been built up over centuries. Think of it as the royal family's investment portfolio passed down from generation to generation. Some of these properties are used as official residences, like the Noordeinde Palace in The Hague, where the king has his office. Others are rented out, generating a tidy income for the crown. And then there are the forests, vast tracts of land that are open to the public but still owned by the royals. Talk about a breath of fresh air. The value of the Crown Estate is a bit of a mystery, but experts reckon it's worth a few billion euros. Not bad for a family business that's been going for over 4 centuries, right? Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Apart from the Crown Estate, the Dutch royals also have their own private investments. Think stocks, bonds, and maybe even a few bitcoins stashed away for a rainy day. This is where things get a bit murky. Unlike the royal allowance, which is public knowledge, the royals' private investments are shrouded in secrecy. We know they exist, but the exact details are a closely guarded secret. Some say it's to protect their privacy, others reckon it's to avoid any potential conflicts of interest. Whatever the reason, it's this lack of transparency that makes it so difficult to pinpoint the Dutch royal family's true net worth. We can speculate all we want, but without access to their private accounts, it's all just a guessing game. Some experts believe their private wealth could be worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of euros. But until the royals decide to open their books to the public, we'll just have to use our imaginations. Section 5. Royal Collections, Priceless Artifacts and Jewels. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the dazzling world of royal bling. The Dutch royal family doesn't just own property and investments. They've also got a collection of art, jewels, and historical artifacts that would make a museum curator weep with envy. We're talking masterpieces by Rembrandt and Vermeer, antique furniture that's older than your great-great-great-grandfather, and enough sparkling diamonds to make a magpie blush. These treasures are more than just pretty trinkets. They're a priceless part of Dutch history and culture. While the exact value of the royal collection is unknown, are you sensing a theme here? Experts believe it's worth an absolute fortune. We're talking billions, folks, with a B. And the best part, much of it is on display in museums and galleries across the Netherlands for everyone to enjoy. So, next time you're admiring a Rembrandt in Amsterdam, spare a thought for the Dutch royals. They might not be rolling around in piles of cash like Scrooge McDuck, but they're certainly sitting on a cultural goldmine. Section 6. Business Ventures and Holdings. Now hold on to your clogs because here's a curveball. The Dutch royals aren't just about inheritances and allowances. They've also dipped their toes into the world of business, albeit with a royal twist, of course. King Willem-Alexander, before taking the throne, was known for his business acumen. He's a qualified pilot and even worked for KLM, the Dutch airline, for a spell. Talk about a high-flying side hustle. While direct business involvement is limited for the reigning monarch, the royal family does hold shares in various Dutch companies. These investments are managed independently, but they still generate a healthy income for the crown. It's all about diversification, even for royalty. From property to investments to the odd business venture, the Dutch royals have their fingers in a lot of pies. It's all part of maintaining their wealth and influence in the 21st century. Section 7. Philanthropic Endeavors. Now, before you go thinking the Dutch royals are all about counting their cash, let's not forget their philanthropic side. Like many royal families, they're involved in a whole bunch of charitable causes, both in the Netherlands and internationally. From supporting organizations that promote sustainable development to championing mental health awareness, the royals use their platform to shine a light on important issues. They even have their own charitable foundations, which fund a wide range of projects and initiatives. While it's difficult to put a price tag on the impact of their philanthropy, it's clear that the Dutch royals take their social responsibility seriously. They see their wealth and influence as a way to give back to society and make a real difference in the world. So next time you see Queen Maxima rocking a fabulous hat at a charity gala, remember that it's not just about the fashion, it's about using her position for good. Section 8. Public Scrutiny and Transparency. Now, with great wealth comes great responsibility, or so they say. And the Dutch royals are no strangers to public scrutiny when it comes to their finances. Every year their allowance is debated in Parliament, with politicians and the public alike weighing in on how their money is spent. Some argue that the royals cost too much, especially in times of economic hardship. Others believe that the monarchy is a valuable part of Dutch heritage, and that the royals deserve to be supported financially. In recent years, there's been a growing call for more transparency in royal finances. The public wants to know exactly where their money is going and how it's being spent. The royals have responded by publishing more detailed financial reports, but some argue that it's still not enough. This debate about royal wealth and transparency is likely to continue for years to come. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one that highlights the changing relationship between the Dutch monarchy and the people they serve. Section 9. Estimating the royal fortune. So, after all that, we're back to the €1,000,000 question. Just how rich are the Dutch royal family? Well, it's complicated. Remember all that talk about private investments and secret assets? That makes it pretty much impossible to put an exact figure on their wealth. We can look at their allowance, the value of the crown estate, and their known investments, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot of hidden wealth lurking beneath the surface, and without access to their private accounts, we can only speculate. Some experts estimate their net worth to be around €1 billion. Others believe it could be much higher, potentially reaching into the tens of billions. The truth is, nobody knows for sure except the royals themselves. But maybe that's part of the allure of royalty, the mystery, the intrigue, the sense that they're living in a different world, a world of unimaginable wealth and privilege. Whether you love them or loathe them, there's no denying that the Dutch royal family are a fascinating bunch. Section 10. Conclusion: a modern monarchy. As we wrap up our deep dive into the finances of the Dutch royals, one thing is clear: they're not your average family. From their historic palaces and priceless art collections to their modern business ventures and philanthropic endeavors, they straddle the line between tradition and modernity. Their wealth, while difficult to quantify, is undoubtedly vast, a testament to centuries of accumulated assets and shrewd investments. But unlike the monarchs of old, who ruled with absolute power and flaunted their riches, the Dutch royal family today understands the need for transparency and accountability. They embrace their role as symbols of national unity and pride, while also acknowledging the changing expectations of their subjects. They're not afraid to roll up their sleeves, get involved in charitable causes, and engage with the public on a more personal level. So, while the exact figures of their wealth may remain a closely guarded secret, one thing is for sure: the Dutch royal family is evolving with the times, proving that even in the 21st century, there's still a place for a modern monarchy.